Canada's express entry just dropped a surprise number of invitations, sky-high CRS at 789, and a laser focus on provincial nominee candidates. But here's the twist, that cutoff score isn't something IRCC sets, it's a direct reflection of who's winning the points race inside the pool. With massive French language draws at just 400, thousands invited under CEC, and over 24,000 ITAs already in 2026, the strategy is crystal clear: Canada is prioritizing in-country talent and top-ranking profiles. So what does this mean for your PR chances? Are scores rising because competition is tougher, or because draw sizes are shrinking? Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel, Canada Immigration. Provincial nominees invited in surprise express entry draw. Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada has issued more invitations to apply through the express entry system. The Immigration Department issued 279 ITAs in a draw for provincial nominee program candidates. To be considered in this draw, candidates needed to have a minimum comprehensive ranking system score of 789, and created an express entry candidate profile before 12:59 a.m. Universal Coordinated Time on September 5, 2025. Summary of express entry draws in 2026. Canada's express entry system has continued its targeted invitation rounds in early 2026, with a strong focus on provincial nominee program, Canadian experience class, and French language candidates. The most recent draw on February 16 under the provincial nominee program issued 279 invitations to apply, with the CRS cutoff climbing to 789. Earlier, on February 6, a major French language proficiency draw saw a significantly lower CRS requirement of 400, while a massive 8,500 candidates received ITAs, marking one of the largest rounds this year. A PNP-specific draw on February 3 invited 423 candidates with a CRS score of 749. Looking back to January, the Canadian Experience Class draw on January 21 issued 6,000 ITAs with a cutoff of 509, while another CEC round on January 7 invited 8,000 candidates, requiring a slightly higher CRS score of 511. Provincial nominee program selections remained frequent throughout the month. January 20, 681 ITAs with a CRS of 746. January 5, 574 ITAs with a CRS of 711. Today's draw marks the 7th express entry selection of the year, and the 4th draw selecting PNP candidates this year. Express entry draws in 2026 have seen Canada's Immigration Department focus exclusively on immigration candidates within the country, particularly those with provincial nominations and Canadian work experience. Draw category: number of rounds. Provincial nominee program, 4 draws. Canadian experience class, 2 draws. French language proficiency, 1 draw. In 2026 thus far, IRCC has issued 24,457 ITAs across the following draw types. Draw type: invitations to apply issued. Canadian experience class, 14,000 ITAs. French language proficiency, 8,500 ITAs. Provincial nominee program, 1,534 ITAs. How does IRCC determine cutoff scores for express entry draws? When conducting draws through express entry, the federal government does not make a decision about the cutoff score under the comprehensive ranking system at which to invite candidates to apply for permanent residence. What takes place is, in fact, the opposite. The government determines the number of candidates to invite in a given draw, and then invites only the top-ranking candidates from the pool, with the cutoff score being the score of the lowest-ranking invited candidate. The cutoff score is thus determined by the composition of the express entry pool at the time the draw takes place. For example, consider an amateur basketball team captain who decides to pick the 5 tallest players for his team. He goes and picks the 5 tallest. The shortest of these players is 6 feet 2 inches tall. We could then observe that all players at least 6 feet 2 inches tall were picked, but that doesn't mean that the captain chose to pick players at least 6 feet 2 inches tall. He simply picked the 5 tallest players available at the time. The players were chosen not because they were all 6 feet 2 inches or taller. They were chosen because they were the tallest players. This is how express entry draws work. The government invites the top-scoring candidates. The cutoff score in an express entry draw is the effect of the top XXXX number of profiles having been selected, not the cause of people above the cutoff having been chosen. In other words, profiles are selected not because they are above the cutoff, but because they are the highest scoring. The cutoff score is simply a way of describing where the highest scoring profile happened to fall. In the event that more than one candidate profile would fall in the position of the lowest score, the government uses a tie-breaking rule based on the date of the profile submission, so profiles with scores precisely at the cutoff score, which were submitted prior to the tie-breaking date, receive invitations, while profiles with the same score but which were submitted later are not invited. Accordingly, an increase in the cutoff scores in CRS draws can result from smaller or less frequent draw sizes, or it could result from an influx in high-scoring express entry profiles, or an increase in scores among existing express entry profiles. The decisions the government is making are the number of invitations to issue, the types of candidates to invite in each round, and the cutoff score is simply a consequence of those decisions. That is all for today, in this video. Please hit like and subscribe for an upcoming video. See you later. Till then, take care.